Hello, my name is Madam Jennifer from Educare TZ. Welcome, my lovely Form 2 student in our biology session. And we are currently proceeding with the solving of the series of the Necta questions, where we are going to see the variety of the question that has been constructed in our topic we studied from Form 1 up to Form 2, and on how to tackle this question to ensure that we get all the awarded marks to different questions. At today's session, we are going to solve the Necta question for the year 2013. Welcome. Today's question is question number 9 for the year 2013, and the question states that use the following guidelines to explain how you will teach people in your community about eating a balanced diet by following the following guidelines. The first guideline is by giving the meaning of a balanced diet. Second one is by stating the components of a balanced diet. Third one is by stating the importance of each of the components of the balanced diet. Fourth one is by stating the deficiency disease which may result when a person does not eat a balanced diet. And the last one by considering the two factors which contribute to lack of a balanced diet among children in Tanzania. My lovely Form 2 students, this question has been derived from our lovely topic of the nutrition, especially in that concept of the nutrition in mammals is where this concept has been derived. We know that we are always consuming food, and within the food is where I get the nutrients. The main purpose of consuming the food or eating the food is to get the nutrients which enable us to survive. Feeding and nutrition, this is one of the major characteristics of the living things. In order for any living things, either plants and the animals, to survive, they have to get a nutrient from variety of the food. And within here, we get two types of organism. You know that the heterotroph as well as autotroph. Heterotroph, these are the organisms which are able, this is a feeding relationship where organisms do depend on other organisms to get the nutrients, either from the plant, either from the other animals, either from the insect and so forth. While the autotroph, these are the organism, or this is a feeding relationship where the organism tended to manufacture its own food by using either the sunlight or by the use of the chemical. This is known as chemosynthesis or photosynthesis. So now, once we talk on the balanced diet, this means eating the food that have all nutrients in a correct proportion. So the consuming the food which possess all the kind of the nutrients in a correct proportion, this is known as the balanced diet. You can eat the food that has all the nutrients, but if it is not in the correct proportion, still you are not following the balanced diet. So once you talk on the balanced diet, make sure that the nutrients are present, but their proportion also are in the corrected manner. So this is known as the balanced diet. Now, let us answer our question by starting with the term balanced diet as our guidelines. The balanced diet, this refers to the food containing all type of the food nutrients in a correct proportion. Once we talk, these nutrients are obtained from the food. Variety of the food we consume, vyakula mbalimbali tunakuwa tunakula ndio tunapata virutubisho, ndio nutrients. Example, there is protein, carbohydrates, lipids, water, refuges, as well as minerals. These are all the nutrients which are obtained from variety source of the food. So, it is advised that we should eat a diet low in fat, sugar, and salt. So, in balanced diet, we advise you to eat food that has low amount of the fat, sugar, as well as the salt. While we are advised to have in our diet, we have to include the food with high proportion of the protein, carbohydrates, vitamin, minerals, and the refuges. So this is the correct proportion of the nutrients which we need to feed on. So, and more importantly, we should take large amount of water. So a person who meets these requirements is the one who is consuming the balanced diet. So eating one kind of the food that does not, either consuming a food that has only protein or carbohydrate or refuge, that is not a balanced diet. Make sure that your food or your diet included all the food nutrients and in a correct proportion. So that was all about the first guidelines which need you to advise your community and to teach them concerning this issue of the balanced diet. First of all, by stating what is balanced diet. The second one is by stating the components of the balanced diet. What is constituted within the balanced diet? What are the building materials of the balanced diet? So, the second guidelines by considering the components of the balanced diet. The components, these are the nutrients which are contained within the food. These are the components of the balanced diet. Here, example, there's protein, carbohydrate, lipids, water, refuges, minerals, as well as vitamins. So, the components of balanced diet, you see that a balanced diet consists of the 6 main nutrients or components, namely protein, carbohydrates, lipid, vitamin, minerals, and water. Now, what is protein? The protein, these are substances that contain the element of oxygen and nitrogen. So this is what made up the protein. Now, what are the sources of the protein? The sources of protein in food such as meat, liver, eggs, cheese, pears, groundnut, and mushroom are the good sources of protein. Because these are the natural sources of protein. Once a person consumes this food, anakuwa anapata the nutrients ambayo may contain the protein. Example, there is this meat, kuna ini, kuna yai, cheese, pears, groundnut pamoja na mushroom. And the second one is carbohydrates. Carbohydrate hapo tunazungumzia wanga. Wanga sana sana tunapata katika hivi vyakula, kwa mfano vya nafaka. Is where you get the carbohydrate. So carbohydrates, these are mainly made up of carbon, hydrogen, as well as the oxygen. And simplified ni glucose. And sources of carbohydrates, food such as maize, rice, potatoes, cassava, wheat, and yam are the rich source of the carbohydrates. And if a child is lacking the carbohydrate, the child end up having the disease known as the marasmus. Also, because the carbohydrate, this constitutes the largest proportion of the energy. So it's one of also the very vital and very important nutrient to the body. So in case if a body will lack the carbohydrate, ndio mtoto ana experience student growth, na mwili unakuwa hauko dhaifu, anakuwa anapata ugonjwa huo wa marasmus. Another component of the balanced diet ni lipids. Lipids, these are compounds of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. They are insoluble in water because these are in fats from kama ni oily. Mafuta, they are usually insoluble in water. So once they are dissolved in water, they tend to float. So that's why we say that they insoluble. So and the lipids are made up of fatty acid as well as the glycerol. And the sources of the lipids are food such as fish, nuts, seed oil, and olive are the good sources of the lipids. Another component of the balanced diet is the vitamins. Madini. And vitamin are chemical substances in small amounts that are used to maintain the body. So these are chemical substances in small amounts that are used to maintain the body. And certain minerals are important for proper functioning of the body, and some are needed in large quantity. Example, these minerals which are required in greatest quantity, we call them the macro minerals, and the ones which are required just in the smallest quantity are called as the micro minerals. Microminerals include the calcium, phosphorus, iron, sodium, zinc, chlorine, as well as the magnesium. Example, the calcium. Calcium, this is very important in the bone formation. It's found in the food like the meat, like the fish. Nasaidia katika bone formation na vile katika muscle contraction. Vile kuna this phosphorus, na hata katika Colgate, katika dawa zetu these toothpaste unakuwepo na this phosphorus katika kuweza vile kuweza kustrengthen the bone. Vile kuna iron, kwa mfano iron ina combine na hemoglobin saidia katika transporting of the oxygen. Kuna this sodium, kwa mfano tunapata katika chumvi. Vile kuna zinc pamoja na chlorine. So the microminerals example kuna iodide, fluoride, manganese pamoja na copper. Ni muhimu lakini zinahitajika kwa kiasi kidogo. Another component of the balanced diet ni water. Water, this is a compound containing element of hydrogen and oxygen. The function of water is used in digestion of the food by dissolving it Also, it uses the transport of the material. You know that the water is a universal solvent. So katika transport of the material into the body of a human being. Na vile vile maji yanasaidia, inajiuza as a solvent in a chemical reaction. So these are the components of the balanced diet. The third guidelines, you are needed to state the deficiency diseases which may result when a person does not eat a balanced diet. The deficiency diseases which may result when a person does not eat a balanced diet. If a person fails to get the balanced diet, a person ends up from suffering from the malnutrition. Malnutrition au utapiamlo ndio deficiency ambayo mtu anakuwa anapata pale ambapo anakula chakula au anapokuwa na apati mlo ulio kamili. So the diseases au magonjwa ambayo yanaambatana na utapiamlo ni kama ifuatavyo. The first one is obesity. Ile ni unene kupindukia. The second one kuna hii marasmus, kuna kwashiorkor au kiribatumbo, rickets, matege, anorexia nervosa na anakuzeria, bulimia. We are going to see them. By starting with the first deficiency of the nutritional disorder, which happen when a person fails to get food rich in balanced diet, and this can be caused either by eating only one kind of the food type or too little kind of a little proportion of a particular food type. So the obesity, this is where a person has excess body fat. So obesity ni pale mtu anapokuwa na mafuta mengi ya kupindukia katika mwili, anakuwa na excess fat. And this mostly affect wale watu ambao wanaweka under pressure. Wale watu ambao almost muda wote wanakuwa ni sedentary workers, ambao muda wote wapo busy ni ofisini, kazi zao ni za kukaa na wanakuwa wanafanya kazi kwa muda mrefu. So wanakuwa nakaa kwa muda mrefu, hawafanyi mazoezi, na vile wanakuwa na consume chakula chenye kiasi kubwa sana cha fat na wanakuwa hawafanyi mazoezi. So inapelekea mafuta kuweza mrundiko wa chakula au mafuta katika this body tissue, inapelekea this obesity. So obesity, a person's sex age and level of activity among other factors determine his or her ideal body fat. So tunaangalia sexy ni wa jinsia gani, tunaangalia age yake. Kwa tutaangalia uzito au unene wa mtu unategemeana na yupo katika age gani, yupo ana umri gani, ni wa jinsia gani na anafanya jishughulisha na kazi gani. So to maintain the fertility, women need more fat, and fat is stored in the breast, hip as well as the things. Kwa katika kuweza kumaintain this fat are very important sana kwa wanawake, ambao inasaidia katika fertility, kwa sababu the fat inakuwa na high proportion of the energy. So inasaidia sana for this woman. So the causes of obesity. The first one is eating too much and not exercising enough. So kula sana na bila kufanya mazoezi, especially kula vyakula ambavyo vinakuwa vina fats. And the body weight and health risk associated with obesity are correlated by the body mass index. Napozungumzia body mass index hapo nenda kuangalia uzito. Tunapopima uzito tunaangalia uzito wa mtu na vile tunaangalia na urefu wake pamoja na age. So the body mass index give the relationship between the estimated body fat and the risk of certain disease. Ambapo tupima the body mass index tunachukua ni body mass ya mtu in kilogram over the person's weight times 2. Tunaangalia ile body mass index. And another deficiency which might result if a person fails to get a balanced diet ni anorexia nervosa na pamoja na bulimia nervosa. Ambapo anorexia nervosa ni wale ambao wanahitaji umisi, unajinyima kula for the fear of getting fat. Na this bulimia nervosa ni pale mtu anakuwa anakula, anavimbiwa, baada ya kula na kuvimbiwa anaanza anafanya mechanism, kwa mfano kama kujitapisha ili aweze kureduce chakula. So the anorexia nervosa, this is also called a slimmers disease or self-starvation syndrome. Kwa mtu anakuwa anajinyima kula ili awe mwembamba. So it occurs when a person intentionally refuses to eat enough, leading to severe loss of the body mass. Kwa mtu anapokuwa anajinyima kula the food, anakuwa na lack a lot of the nutrients, kwa sababu due to the fear anakuwa anajilazimisha fasting kwa lazima ili asinenepe. Kwa at this time anakuwa ana lack this particular food nutrients. So Bulimia nervosa, this involves excessive eating followed by effort to remove food from the body. Kwa mtu anakuwa anakula hadi anavimbea, baada hapo anaweza fanya mechanism of removing the food from the body. And the effort could involve self-induced vomiting, fasting, excessive exercise, or taking drug that stimulates emptying of bowel or exercising or excessive urinating. And another deficiency is marasmus. Marasmus, this is a form of malnutrition in children. It is caused by the lack of adequate amount of the food. So if a baby does not get enough amount of the food with the particular nutrients, example the carbohydrate, a baby end up suffering from the marasmus. So the main source of the marasmus, mtoto anakuwa anapata chakula ambacho hakitoshi. So a child suffering from marasmus shows symptoms such as weight loss, anakuwa na mzito mdogo, anakuwa na sodi, ukwaji wake ipo na kuepo mdogo, decreased activity na lack of energy, anakuwa nakosa nguvu kwa sababu anakuwa hapati chakula cha kutosha. Vile vile anakuwa na wrinkled skin, ngozi inakuwa imejikunja, pamoja na extreme hunger, anakuwa ana njaa kupindukia. The another disorder which happen when a person fails to get a balanced diet is kwashiorkor au utapiamlo. Tapozungumzia kwashiorkor, this is a malnutrition, this is a deficiency that is called when a person fails to get a food rich in protein. So the main source or cause of the kwashiorkor is when a baby fails to get a food that rich in protein. Inapelekea mtoto kuweza kuugua utapiamlo. Tunajua kwamba protein inakuwa in a variety of the function in our body, like repairing of the worn out body parts, like example the wound healing, the replacement or regeneration of the destroyed or distracted body parts. Inasaidia katika formation of the body tissue, kwa mfano hairs, nails. Kwa in case kama mtoto atalack protein, meaning that hata the formation of the hair itakuwepo ni mbovu. Ngozi yake pia, the development this skin tissue itakuwepo ni mbovu. Wound healing mechanism itakuwepo pia ni poorly. The development of this keratinized body parts na vile vile itakuwa ni very very poorly. Mtoto ata suffering from having the drier skin, then cracking, atakuwepo na edema ambayo itakuwepo na excessive accumulation of the fluid into the body, inapelekea ile tumbo kuweza kukua kubwa, inayoitwa utapiamlo au kwashiorkor. So the kwashiorkor is caused by the deficiency of the protein. It affects the children mostly after stopping the breastfeeding. So mothers who are stopping their baby from having the breastfeeding, pale muda unakuwa umefika, they have to ensure that wana provide their baby a food rich in a balanced diet. They have to ensure that the baby get the food rich in protein, carbohydrates, lipid, water, refuges, as well as the minerals, so to ensure that they do not suffer from this particular disease. The protein is one of the very important nutrient into the body, not only for the children but also for these adult people. So and the last one is the rickets. Rickets ni matege. So this is caused by the malformation katika bones. So in case kama mtu atalack the food rich in vitamin D, sana this deficiency of the mineral vitamin D, ambayo vitamin D inasaidia katika formation of the strong bones. So when a baby fails to get the food rich in vitamin D, example fish, anakuwa end up having the rickets. Anakuwa unaangalia kwamba mtoto anakuwa na matege, miguu yake inakuwa haipo in a way, au mikono yake in a way as the normal bones are. So the rickets is a condition where the bone of a child is softened, leading to fracture and deformity. Kwa hiyo hii hapa inapelekea mifupa ya mtoto inakuwa ni milaini na inakuwa ni rahisi sana katika kuvunjika, na vile vile inaonyesha deformity, inakuwa haipo in the upright position. And the last question, you are needed to write an essay to advise the community by considering the last guideline, which is by considering 2 factors which contribute to the lack of balanced diet among the children in Tanzania. Vitu gani ambavyo vinapelekea watoto wengi Tanzania washindwe kupata mlo ulio kamili? So, first one is limited financial resource. limited financial resource, this affect much of the parents, wanakuwa wanashindwa kuweza kuwapatia watoto wao vyakula ambavyo vinakuwa vina mlo kamili, kwa sababu wanakuwa hawana ile access, hawana ule uwezo kuweza kupata hela na kuweza kuandalia vyakula vya lishe. Vile vile another and second factor is medical condition that make eating difficult. Kingine ambacho kinapelekea watoto wa Tanzania washindwe kupata this balanced diet ni medical condition. Kwa mfano unakuta mtoto, kuna baadhi ya watoto wakiachishwa wanakuwa wanatapika, wengine wanakuwa wanaharisha. Kwa hiyo hata wakibe feeded on this balanced diet, food rich in the nutrient, they suffering, they end up vomiting pamoja na diarrhea, so they tend to lack this particular nutrients. Vile vile limited access to nutritious food. Limited, kuna baadhi ya maeneo vyakula vinakuwa vinapatikana sana kwa shida. And this leads these babies to suffer from having the malnutrition like marasmus, rickets, kwashiorkor, and so forth. So, my lovely Form 4 students, that mark the end of our today enjoyable session. Please stay connected to Educare Media for further learning. Also, stay tuned on subscribing our media. For those who have not yet studied this particular topic of the nutrition, it is available in our media. Just subscribe and search the nutrition form, so you will get the full packages on this particular topic of the nutrition. You are going to learn a lot pertaining this particular topic of the nutrition. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your attention. I would like to welcome you for next coming session. Have a nice moment.